We've got the 10 minutes until kick-off. It's time to bring you the confirmed lineups for this evening's Carabao Cup fixture, starting with our visitors Millwall. They're starting 11 in goal, number 13, Stephen Bender.
Good evening, welcome along. We've got a South London derby in the Carabao Cup this evening as Premier League Crystal Palace host Championship Millwall as they did in the FA Cup last season. Palace are unbeaten all season. Millwall have made the 8-mile journey from the New Den to Selhurst Park. Millwall have been good on the road this season, winning at Norwich and Sheffield United, and in the Carabao Cup they won at Newport County. They've struggled at home in the Championship. They've made more changes. We'll have a look at the details of the team news in a couple of minutes' time. Palace are unbeaten all season. In fact, they're unbeaten in 15 games in all competitions since April. And in that time, Palace have won their first major trophy. They followed up with the Community Shield and started their first European campaign. The games are coming thick and fast, but as we'll see shortly, Oliver Glasner doesn't make too many changes for this game, and it's not entirely a sellout. There were tickets available on the Crystal Palace website earlier, but the supporters who've made the journey, who've come out, will be making plenty of noise, we trust. Particularly, sort of imagine those who've made the away journey, the Millwall supporters, will be supporting their side in strong voice. And we'll see whether they can take on Crystal Palace with their Premier League wealth and a Premier League squad, but they will give it a go. Kick-off at 8 o'clock. So this is a South London derby rather than the South London derby. There's a rivalry, but neither fan base sees the other as their chief rival, perhaps. But they will be in vocal competition this evening. The last two meetings between the clubs have been in the FA Cup. Palace knocked out Millwall last season in the 5th round and in the 3rd round back in 2022. Last season's FA Cup tie was contentious. Liam Roberts' high boot left Jean-Philippe Mateta needing 25 stitches. Roberts got a long ban and didn't play for the rest of his loan spell at Millwall. Tony Gale has seen many a London football match over the years. There are thousands of games that you've co-commentated on, Tony, and no matter what team Millwall put out, their supporters will be expecting a full-blooded performance.
Well, this is their second game in London, isn't it? Cheltenham at the weekend as well, South London. So, I mean, their fans, I think, are amongst the noisiest around. The South Palace, actually, John, at home, aren't they? With their fans behind the goal. So, I don't think it's been a particularly good turnout by the Palace fans because the game they're expected to win. But certainly Millwall fans really crowding out their area, and they'll be making a big noise tonight.
Well, there are 16 ties in this round. The 9 Premier League clubs that are in European competition join in at this stage, and that involves Crystal Palace these days. Well, 5 Premier League clubs were knocked out in the last round. 3 of them lost to lower division clubs. So all of the Premier League clubs that were knocked out by teams from lower leagues lost on penalties. Will go to penalties at 90 minutes if the two teams can't be separated. The last time they met in league football was in the Championship back in 2013. But Palace, in terms of finances, have pulled away from Millwall since then. Millwall last beat them in 2011, thanks to a hat-trick scored by Jason Puncheon, who obviously went on then to play for Palace later in his career. Well, Palace have got plenty of games to play this season with European matches to come. But Oliver Glasner still sends out quite a strong-looking 11. Let's take a look at it. 4 changes from the Premier League game against Sunderland at the weekend. The Argentina international Walter Benitez starts in goal for the first time in English football. 19-year-old French defender JD Canvo also debuts in place of Chris Richards. Croatia left-back Borna Sosa replaces Tyrick Mitchell in the left wing-back position, and former Millwall man Romain Esse plays. It's only his 2nd appearance of the season. Perhaps a way of the modern game. It's Millwall who make more changes. They make 8. We think the 4-4-2 has gone, although they warmed up with a back 4. The players who stay in are Tristan Kramer, Kamil Negli and Mihailo Ivanovic, but Ivanovic is the only out-and-out striker who's lost his partner in Josh Coburn, who's on the bench. 20-year-old Derek Mazu-Sako plays for the first time since arriving from French 2nd Division side Rodez. Max Crocombe has played in both previous cup ties this season. Race Bangura Williams got the equaliser in the other South London derby against Charlton on Saturday. Well, Alex Neil against Oliver Glasner. It was the Millwall man who was bigging up the idea of the local derby. Oliver Glasner a little bit more passionate.
So obviously everybody, Crystal Palace fans, are hoping that he has the kind of impact of Eze and the League Sun factor, 2 great products that they brought through. Hopefully wanted a little bit of the same of this young man. There's Ivanovic up front, keeping his place, and so when there's been so many changes, you think, he must be thinking, why me? Why am I playing, actually? But Ivanovic, good striker for Millwall, so we'll be looking out for him tonight, John.
So we'll do a bit of detective work, trying to work out the Millwall formation, because they made so many changes, and the likes of Mazu-Sako hasn't played at all. But the clue was that we saw them warming up with a back 4. We'll assume that that's not some kind of clever decoy. Our match referee tonight is John Busby, but he is not backed up by the VAR. How will we survive? Because the FA Cup tie pivoted really on the controversial incident, the injury to Mateta that was only picked up by the VAR, when you remember that, for all of the seriousness of the contact. And so it's Crystal Palace in their normal red and blue, and Millwall have made the change. They've travelled the 8 miles further south in London for this tie. They were dumped out of the FA Cup last season. They were dumped out of the FA Cup a few seasons ago by Crystal Palace. Can the Championship side turn around that gulf in spending power with a hard-working performance? I think we were sold a dummy, Tony, with that back 4 that they warmed up in Millwall.
Well, we'll see how it pans out, John. I mean, it's Crystal Palace. You can see that they're going to sit back in their shape, make it difficult. It's important that they block these little areas.
Is Jeremy Pino, an early attack, and a fine save made by Crocombe, and it had to be. Palace sliced through them so easily, and Pino so willing to take on the shot. Such a front foot attacking player. This is Canvo, first touches for the young French defender, and then Lacroix. I'd be happy to have Lacroix alongside him, and Gehi plays.
Certainly too quick to be opened up like that, certainly with Pino just in that little space and just breaking in between the lines early on. That's a danger sign for Millwall. Quite an easy save for Crocombe. It was a comfortable sight from height from Pino, but Palace, that's danger for Millwall straight away.
Millwall barely had a touch of the ball in the first approaching 90 seconds. You'd expect that, of course. They would expect to have to work hard and to fight their way into the game.
That's going to be difficult for them, making so many changes against the Premier League side. Oh, good little goal.
It was Pino who left it to go through to Mateta. The return was Wasn't quite the same from the big centre forward.
Kramer was a little quicker to read it himself there.
And here's Ivanovic. And then Esse from that really central position, so they call them 10s. I was suggesting that we call them inside forwards, but
we wasn't.
No, you agreed. Yeah,
I agree.
It's the old inside forward. That's the position they play. They're not wingers. They're not strikers.
False 10s, 9.5. Says loads of terminology for it, but just coming in off the flanks, the Palace, the front, the two wider boys of the front three. But you're right, John. Yeah, just tucking inside. Inside forwards. There's a little bit of a throwback.
Millwall prepared to hit it long. They've been playing a 4-4-2 in recent weeks, but it is just Ivanovic up there with Coburn left out. Negley relatively advanced with him. Mateta having his shirt pulled a little bit, but the referee, Mr. Busby, happy to let it go on. And then it's Wes Hardy, who's the right wing back, who couldn't get on the end of that.
Well, it's a good stop, isn't it? A comfortable height. Just really quite a picture save, but Pino getting in that hole, that's where they don't want him operating, coming off into those little deeper areas in between the lines, and getting turned on, half turn there really, getting his shots away so quickly, but comfortable stuff.
And the sharp eye will notice that was Stephen Bender in goal as well. The pre-match we were told it was Max Crocombe, but I wonder what happened we'll try and get some news on that. What happened to the advertised goalkeeper? As Kamara winning the ball back. Palace struggled to break down Sunderland the other day. I mean, Sunderland weren't exactly massed in their own penalty area, but Palace had, I think, 6 shots, some good saves by the Sunderland goalkeeper, but they weren't exactly overwhelmed.
Well, it's what Palace have got to get used to. I mean, they're a good side. They've just won the FA Cup. They deserve every little bit of credit that they get for that. But this is certainly what I would call a good practice for them if they play Premier League sides sitting behind the ball. But Millwall taking a little bit of a press, a forward press here, but it's important when they do that the balls don't go in so easily to this area, to Mateta.
Yeah, different looking defensive setup for Millwall. Glasner obviously had watched them against Charlton, but it's very different tactically from Alex Neil today. Got to adapt, haven't you? Here's Margay. Delivers into the penalty area, and it's Kramer who's the captain today, who heads it away. Will Hughes seizes on that, and Pino's first touch around the corner was subtle again. Kramer came in and stopped the return pass from Hughes. And Ivanovic with a lovely little touch around the corner for Harding. And Canbo came across initially. Now Lacroix will try and finish the job.
Gave it an early foul there on Negley, but that was quite composed. When they do break it up, they've got to be really careful with their possession. They try and make the first or second pass so well, because Palace will push right in on them and give them that little bit of pressure. If you can break that with the first 1 or 2 passes, then you broke the press and you're in. So they've got to be confident and really try to play their football as well.
So Kamal Grant, who scored in this competition against Coventry, is the right side of the central defenders. Negley trying to make something of that, and a first involvement for Walter Benitez, who's not exactly a rookie. He won the title twice with PSV. He's an Argentina international, so he's a very experienced backup.
Very good, he came out there, but there's a good little build-up from Millwall. Obviously, with so many changes tonight, I think they're going to take a little bit of time to settle. So this first quarter of an hour or so is going to be really important.
So Max Crocombe was injured during the warm-up. So that's why Bender, who is the regular Championship goalkeeper anyway, Stephen Bender. So technically speaking, it's an upgrade. Disappointing, of course, for Crocombe, who has played in this competition in the previous games.
That's well played by Ivanovic there, just getting his body between ball and man, just holding him off, just waiting for that foul. And of course it disrupts play and allows you to get a little bit further up the pitch. Millwall are so good at these normally, these set pieces, trying to keep that ball alive, the second ball alive in and around the danger zone.
Floated to the edge of the penalty area, offside.
Disobey from Lee. Easy offside, that's a little bit frustrating. And you do get that opportunity to get players forward, you've got to take care. What a manager he's been, hasn't he? Oliver Glasner, FA Cup winner. Absolutely brilliant, and they've done it with some style as well.
Followed up with the Community Shield, and he also won the Europa League as well back in his Eintracht Frankfurt days.
I think he won his biggest trophy by keeping Gay before the transfer window closed. Got that in, kept in. Oh, he's top player for me.
Here's Kamada, deeper than you normally see him play. It's very comfortable though in that sort of playmaker role. Here's Munoz driving forward, and he tries to chop inside, wins the free kick out of Dan Kelly.
Munoz been a little bit of a cult figure, a cult hero, hasn't he? I think he's the way he gets up and down that line in that wing-back spot. I think he's been brilliant. A revelation, really. Every time you go there, I've been there quite often down to Selhurst in particular. The fans are right behind him. It's up and down that line, and his energy is fantastic. You've got to have that type of energy to be a wing-back, and he's got it in abundance.
Yeah, and a bargain signing as well from Belgian football is Borna Sosa, another international wing-back. It's as though Sosa might take on the shot here, perhaps. Croatia international, surely going for goal, and he curls it up and over the bar.
Got to be flatter than that, obviously, to keep it down and hit the target. I wouldn't have even said that's a good effort. I mean, that's a poor effort for me. Just a little bit far out, a little bit too far on the angle as well. I think he'd have been better going for that far post, driving the defenders deep and waiting for that little touch.
Arsenal's got a decent record in the Carabao Cup. One more than he's lost, never been past the fourth round though. Yeah, he has taken a blow here. Good sign is he was quickly up. The referee sensibly had called for help though.
I think that was more about his landing. Come down with a little bit of a bump there, didn't he? Yeah, he got a little connection on the head, but the landing was quite awkward. There you go. Got a bit of a thump, wasn't it?
So you think it was a wise decision to hang on to him, turn down the money on offer?
Exactly right, I think. More than wise, I think. It would have caused them a hell of a lot of problems had he gone. They didn't have the replacement to come in either. I think Glasner just forced the Palace chairman Steve Parish's hand there and the club by saying more or less, like, if you let him go, then we are going to be in trouble. Because I think it could have been as far as losing your top player like that, John. It might have even been a relegation battle. He's that key for them.
And an England regular as well. There'll be no shortage of teams wanting to buy him either in January or sign him on what could be a free next summer. Still off the pitch at the moment though, the Palace skipper. Kamada comes back and tidies up, and then Pino smuggles it through to Esse. He's back on now, Marghi. Lacroix just put an arm around Ivanovic. Ivanovic scored 13 goals last season. At the time he was a record signing for Millwall, but a very young player, but an international. got big hopes for him. They've offered him a new contract.
Settled down well, I think. Got to get to that quarter of an hour mark. I think that's a big milestone when you get there in these games against the teams that are in the Premier League, and you settle down so well. And the press is quite good and quite high at the moment, which I wasn't expecting.
There's Will Hughes into that busy midfield. Lacroix. Pino had dropped deep and then offside against Munoz, I think. So they don't meet very often, but Palace have had the best of the recent meetings. And 7 would be a record-equaling run in the matches between these two rivals. And Ivanovic again working hard. He usually has, well, in recent weeks this season he's had Coburn up there with him as well, another hard-working forward. And here's Canvo. Good opportunity for the youngster to make his debut at 19 years of age.
He played his back three so well, even in possession. Look how spread the centre-backs are. He's wide there on the left, and you've got Lacroix. And you've got Canvo, as you just talked about there, John, but they're so spread, aren't they? The only danger is, should it break down, they're too spread.
Now they're through the Kamada, and he'll try to release Mateta. It points to Bender, who's the regular goalkeeper, who's come back in at the last minute.
Can't be that easy, really. Everybody says you're just going to slip in between the sticks, but when you've kind of switched off that you think you're not playing, and then all of a sudden you have, you've got to get your head on straight away. Fortunately for him, he's had a chance to make an easy save, settled in.
So gets a toe on that, but can't keep hold of the ball. He's been struggling for opportunities. Romagnesse. This could be a big one for him tonight. Here's Munoz charging forward, and it comes to Romagnesse. A nice turn, and then he can't get the shot away. Excellent interception. It was Dan Kelly who got in at the last moment.
This is the power of Munoz. Goes past Sturridge quite easily here. Cuts it back, and I thought should really have shot here. Spun on his left foot, but he's taking it round on his right. Tried a little bit too much there. Having got on that left peg, I think he should have gone for the shot.
Yeah, he's only played a quarter of the game against Forest this season. Sosa's over. The left-footed delivery again, and it's plucked out to the air by Bender.
Good start so far.
Zach Sturridge, the left wing back, is former Chelsea youngster. Kamal Grant, who's the right of the centre backs. Got a lot of pressure from Pino, and the free kick goes Millwall's way.
He's quite thankful for that. He got himself in a bit of a stake there, didn't he? Should have played early. You've got to play early. When you're boxed in like that, you've got to go in. But look, when you start having to turn back and you're facing your own goal, then you're in trouble. Fortunately, he gets the foul. He gets out of the situation.
And Kelly's pass is a little short, and SA can pick it up and go for goal, and that really is goalkeeping practice for Stephen Bender.
So, Jim, weak effort, wasn't it? Kelly caught in possession. That's the danger there. Look, when you're the last midfield man, you give it away, and it's straight away you're into your back four or back three. It's not the best of finishes from SA. Bit of a dribbler, really.
He was put on and then taken off as a sub in the last game of last season. I say the suggestion is that there's something in his game a little bit lacking for Glasner.
It's good play by Grant. He out-muscled Pino there. He was trying to hold his head and a little bit of a reaction and gain a foul. Good play by Grant.
Kamara is again influential in the midfield. Now Hughes.
So underrated, Will Hughes. Adam Walton gets all the plaudits when they're playing together, but for me, Hughes is nearly as influential. Sort of went back down a league, didn't he, John? Sort of recreated himself, and in the Premier League now, it's a doddle for him. He's that good a player for me, really good in possession. As he gives it away for me. Normally so sure.
Well, 62% for Crystal Palace. They're not a natural possession team. They had more of the ball against Sunderland the weekend, but they don't normally. I think 42 is their average. And in the games, the quarter-final, semi-final and FA Cup final, they had less than that. I think it was 22% possession when they beat Manchester City in the FA Cup final. There's no rules. You can play the game how you like.
Possession doesn't win in games.
Here's Sturge.
Quite often, really, when teams are trying to play out the back, it's better to give the opposition possession because you can nick it and be straight into them. Quite often, when I'm doing Premier League games week in and week out, most of the chances are scored from a little bit of a turnover and possession rather than the build-up.
Good work by Millwall to rob that ball back. And then Mazu Sakho was dispossessed. Gay surged forward. And a strong challenge coming in. Fair one though. Caleb Taylor has essay down. Negley breaking forward for Millwall, and he whips it quickly into the penalty area. And now the clearance comes to the edge of the box, and Kelly put more pressure on Munoz too much, and he was able to get out of the situation by
that was a shame.
getting a
that
free
was a
kick.
good break, wasn't it? Really good break. I think Kelly had the opportunity there, John, to really let go from near the edge of the area. The ball come back from him. He had a little bit more confidence. Should have been one touch and a shot. But there's Essay in and around near the halfway line. Gay played him a ball, sort of appealing for the foul, but he's waiting for the ball again. Taylor got the interception, but he's waiting for the ball, and you are going to get caught in those situations. You've got to go to the ball, and there's nothing really wrong with him. But at the moment, the youngster's having a little bit of a tough task in his first 20 minutes or so. There's some good signs for Millwall there on that left flank, and I think if the ball had been just a little bit better from Negley, they may have gotten the end of it.
Well, this doesn't look good, does it? Dan Kelly asking for some treatment here. Alex Neil, I think, wanting to know quickly.
Yeah, let me know quickly. Not a lot of compassion there. What, is he ready or not?
But again, they might as well take their time, because they do need to make a change.
Had a good opportunity there, John, didn't he, Kelly, on the edge of the area? Ball came to him, and I just thought, just take the touch, get it out your feet and get your shot away, rather than trying to play another 1-2 off of Ivanovic, and then it broke down. But got to really take those little opportunities that they get. The first one, the cross from Negley, could have been better, and then Kelly on the edge of the area not really taking the initiative. Here it is there, look. Oh, I think that's worth a belt, isn't it? No, he's a little bit awkward, and I think he's I don't know what he's actually done.
Yeah, it's asking a lot of Ivanovic to do something with that pass, isn't it? So there's activity on the bench, on the Millwall bench. Well, this is a real blow, isn't it? It's a blow for Millwall, because they've got a number of injuries in midfield positions. Billy Mitchell is out, Casper De Nora out, players who could play in that position. Will Smallbone as well, all central midfield players who are unavailable, and it looks as though they're losing young Dan Kelly as well.
Taking his time coming off the pitch. It's pretty sensible, gives the sub a little bit more time to get ready himself, get all his instructions, who he's marking at set pieces, where he is for and against. So The hobble's getting a little bit longer till they get all the information sorted out. Taking his time there. I don't know if he's taking all that in, all that information. Trying to pull your socks up, get your shin pads on, and look, you've got who you're marking at free kicks, corners, where you are offensively as well. A lot to take in.
So Tierno Ballo is the player coming on, who made his debut last 10 minutes at the weekend against Charlton. He's an Austria international. He's more experience actually than Kelly. Ivanovic. It's a little short for Mazu Sakho, who was robbed and then comes back in. He came from behind. The referee was happy with the angle of the challenge. So Millwall get it again and they turn it round. Ballo trying to get his first involvement. He's gone over to the right side, the substitute. Mazu Sakho putting good pressure on.
He's good pressure as well. Good challenge from Mazu Sakho earlier on Pino. Pino overreacting on a couple of occasions at the moment, but he'll get his head on his own.
And free kick given against Tristan Kramer.
Yeah, good play by Mateta. Kramer should have been a little bit wiser to that. He won't play against as much quality as him in the Championship, and he's really experienced in backing into defenders. In that occasion, you've just got to back off. End up falling over the centre forward. He's trying to feel you, and if there's nothing to feel, and they get off balance themselves.
There's Pino again, and again he's been tracked, and this one the referee doesn't like. It was a bit of a lunge by Kamal Grant, wasn't it, who jumped out of that centre-back position.
Yeah, I thought we tackled well there, John, actually. I thought we got a little touch on the ball. I thought, again, overreacting. Is it goes there? Yeah, he got the ball for me. Might got a little bit of the man, but there you go.
Jeremy Pino might have to get used to English standards of what's allowed. Here's Pino with a shot. That's way off target, perhaps just a little bit rattled.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you're playing in that pocket, the challenges are going to come in from the side or from behind you. You've got to have a little bit of bravery. I think at the moment he's looked like the man who could do most for Palace, but there he's a bit erratic with the shot, but he's getting in the best positions. It's how quickly you can find him in those positions.
26 million euros, which he came from a Champions League club. He would be playing in the Champions League tonight for Villarreal if he hadn't made the move. Seems cheap for an international player, a guy who played in the Nations League final for Spain.
He looks looking at him, reminds me a little bit of Eden Hazard. Short player, a little bit of a low centre of gravity, good on the ball. Obviously got a lot to match up to with him now.
Oh, it's a lovely pass by Esse, and out comes Bender. He's had to be alert there, the Millwall goalkeeper.
Good start to the game, hasn't he? Thrown in at the last, but good start.
Now Hughes driving forward again for Crystal Palace, and he slips it into the feet and gets it back again from Esse. Into the penalty area. Now Sosa. Across it goes. Pino's shot is deflected. Munoz comes in, and Bender saves again.
Stones wasn't sure whether to put his foot up there, because if he put his foot up, it would have been into the face of Munoz and gave away a penalty. Better from Palace, good from Will Hughes. He's been the catalyst really of most of what they've been doing well. Trying to look forward all the time, but you can see the deflected cross just comes to the far post. He elects to pull his foot away, and it's a good selection really there, because he could have given away a penalty quite easily.
Corner goes short. Pino, not a good return pass, is it, to Sosa? Sold his teammate short, and Millwall come herring downfield with Negley. Credit to Jeremy Pino, though. That's a terrific recovery play, and then he gives it away again. You can't get a word in, Tony, before he's done good thing, bad thing, good thing.
He's having all sorts of a game at the moment. But what he's got to try and do is welcome the physicality side of the Premier League, and obviously playing against Championship sides like Millwall tonight. Impressed by Millwall so far, John. I think they've done really well. Millwall fans will be saying, tell him to shut up. You don't want to get a kiss of death. But they've started really well. You can see they're well organised. Had the injury, maybe a change to the goalkeeper and an outfield player already. Started really well.
So Palace more than double the number of passes that Millwall have had, but they knew that coming into this game.
Yeah, of course, but I think it's the amount of chances they've limited Palace to.
It's Esse. Wes Bangura Williams playing as a central midfield player, deeper than I've seen him play before for the Lions. Get his switch ball. He's then eventually nodded out of play by Caleb Taylor, former West Brom man. Teta comes deep. He was trapped all the way, but he manages to ping it out to Kamara, and then it goes to Sosa, who plays it to the edge of the penalty area again, and Pino drags the shot wide. Same move, Sosa with that ball, and Pino into that space in the area.
You've got to close down that area at the far post, because players are going to shoot for it, and you've got to close the gate between the 6-yard box and the far post. They're simple tap-ins for strikers. But he shows the ball to the defender with his right side, drags it to his left, doesn't strike it that well, but that area there, oh, I think John Mateta's got to be anticipating there. You've got to go for that area. No, he's going to shoot, so if he drags it, it's going to be, look, 2 or 3 yard tap-in.
Bangura Williams wants to curl that around into the run of Ivanovic. And then Grant.
This is where they're going to have a little bit of a problem when they're building up, trying to get out and in between the lines. This is what they've got to show a little bit of bravery.
And that's done by Sturge, but quick cover comes from Canbo. Bangura Williams again, and then Negley moves it on quickly. One of the criticisms Alex Neil had of his players earlier this season, in games where they've struggled, is not moving the ball as quickly as he would like to see. It's left by Esse. Sturge. Munoz all over the back of him. Spell of Millwall possession. And it's allowed to run on by Ballo, and it has to go back to Benitez, who's only got the one option, which is to slam it down the pitch.
A little bit of a roar from the Millwall fans, and I want to see that. That was classic. Maybe striking play, a little over. Let's just go try and get the return off the centre forward there, but just a little bit misplaced with the pass, but that's better from Millwall.
Bangura Williams, I think, just took a little knock on the calf there from Munoz. Covers some ground, Daniel Munoz, doesn't he? And Oliver Glasser, he's not one for massively changing the team around. We'll see how that goes if they go further in this competition with the Conference League games to come. Here's Sturge. There's a gap here. Will he carry on going himself? He passes it on, and Ivanovic tries to curl it in the top corner, and it's a long way over the top.
Yeah, it was unlucky for Sturge as well. He just couldn't quite drag it in his path. He burst well into that little area. They were patient, but that was on for a shot. But he didn't want to really fire away on his weaker right-hand side. Set up Ivanovic, and he's leaning back all the way. That's poor technique, really, from the centre forward. Can't look down at the pitch. No bobbles. Perfect playing pitch.
Grant won the first header. Ricochets kindly, and Ballo, and a chance for Negley, who's through. What a miss, what an opportunity. The goal was gaping there. Credit to Benitez for coming out and putting some pressure on Negley, but it should have been in the back of the net for Millwall.
What a chance, what a chance. Shame for Negley as well. Got to take those chances. Look, Hughes goes into the tackle, Kamada gives it away as well, and all of a sudden they're on the break. Negley gets a nice little pass into his path, and he drags it wide. I think he's got to open himself out there, John, and got to go for the other corner. Just a poor option, I think. Yeah, he's made a poor option for me, going back across the keeper. That's got to go. Yeah, got to go to his left-hand side. Keeper had opened up that side. He's gone the wrong side. What a shame. What an opportunity. Look at that. I think you can see that on the face of Alex Neil.
Mazusako. Encouraging for Millwall. It's the best chance of the game.
By far.
Kramer goes long. And Harding. Very advanced position. They work this nicely as well, and Ballo is stopped by Lacroix.
Well, you can hear the roar of the Millwall fans now. They're loving this. Little bit of pressure, getting further up the pitch and really pressing Palace. Keep being positive. Don't go backwards. Keep being positive. Cause Palace problems when they have, and they press them at the front. Husey and Kamada gave that ball away from the pressure from the Millwall midfield. Fell to Negley. What a chance. Oof.
Great pressure on SA as the ball chipped into him, and Taylor plays the cross. Comes out to Zach Sturge. Millwall on top. Now Hughes. Now Crystal Palace might get the opportunity they want to try and counter-attack, and Taylor is penalised for the challenge on SA.
Having the best of games, is he, young SA? Getting caught on the ball.
Oh, this is nicely done. It's Kamada who slipped it through, but in fact just too heavy for Mateta.
Poor pass, sorry, John. Poor pass from Kamada, because he's been slipped in there really quickly, and that's an easy pass to Mateta. He looked round as if to say, that's an easy one. Got to get it better than that. Growing in confidence, Millwall playing it out the back, being more assured on the ball.
Mazusako was surrounded, and the loose ball then went out to SA. And Pino putting some pressure on Grant, but he gets it forward to Harding. Harding scored in the FA Cup tie last season.
Ball forward from Kamada should have been better. Husey, good spot again. Look at that. That was an easy pass, just overweighted. It's a poor pass from Kamada. Got to take care. They're a great opportunity.
Mazusako just to hang on to possession. Grant then wide to Harding. So total shots 7 against 2. Millwall haven't yet tested Walter Benitez. Bender's made 3 saves. And the flag is now raised against Tierno Ballo.
Still good play though, John, wasn't it? A little bit patient, you know, prepared to play it backwards and just trying to get that runner in from deep. Just got to time that run a little bit better. It wasn't the best from Ballo. He went a lot early. You could see Munoz on this near side had easily played him offside.
Oliver Glasner not enjoying what he's seeing from Crystal Palace, certainly in this 10-minute spell.
Well, as Kamada again gave that ball away, and really they're not taking care in that midfield. Pino, Kamada, the only one who takes care of possession at the moment is Hughes.
Is Bangora Williams for Championship Millwall. 13th in the Championship, so there's more than a division between them in league placings. Big Kamal Grant coming forward. The ball is whipped in, and Ivanovic with the header. It's a sound save by Benitez, the first time he's had to make a save in anger.
Well, it's good for the stats because it was on target, but it's very difficult to score from that range. But good ball in. Gets across his marker there, Ivanovic, but very difficult to score from that far out. You're kind of trying to glance the ball in. It's a good effort. It's very difficult to score from there.
Summer signing, Walter Benitez from PSV Eindhoven, 32. In the current Argentina squad, he was away for the international break. Step over by Pino, but he hadn't checked.
Sorry, John, it's giveaway again, isn't it? It's over elaborate. Easy out of possession. Good ball in from Gay. Up to his feet, hold on to the ball, bring others into play. Tries to be over elaborate. It's another giveaway.
And Kamada. And
that's
again,
a giveaway.
Munoz springs forward, but very well tracked, wasn't it, by Zach Sturge?
You're never going to get your better players into the game, and he's one of them. Munoz on that right-hand side in the wing-back spot hasn't had a lot of ball. Got to play quickly in that midfield area in the middle, and then when you switch the ball, it's got to go quickly and incisively. Brings your right wing back into the game, but they're not doing it quickly enough. As I said before, Will Hughes, quick, good, finding the pass, but the other two have not been up to it. And this young man hasn't had the best of starts.
But he gets away from a challenge there. He gets Crystal Palace on the attack. Kamada. And Will Hughes. And Sosa down the left side. Again, a current international. Sosa played in the World Cup semi-final a couple of years ago. Cambo forward. Teta gets no joy again. Neatly done by Negley. And not by Bangora Williams, but he does get another go at possession. Negley being tracked all the way by Canvo. It's good play.
Okay. The last thing he wanted to do after doing all that ever so well was to foul in there, letting out cheaply, but nowhere to go in the end. Negley had to try and hoof it down the line, but that was well played by Canvo.
So we see long throws everywhere these days. Everyone's hired set-piece coaches, and they've come up with a long throw, Tony. You've never seen that before?
Never seen that before. I saw that. 1970 Cup final, Ian Hutchinson. Chelsea scored a winner. Replay against Leeds. That's how long ago they go to that. Everybody's going, what? When? 1970.
So Borna Sosa to show us his long throw. Longish throw. Flicked on by Canvo. Pateta was trying to get an overhead kick going there. Referee was happy with the challenge on Hughes. There's one back by Sturge, and then Negley and Ivanovic, and the pass wasn't right, and Kamada was the last defender. And it was a good job he was there.
Just take care, Negley. Done ever so well, spun well, didn't he? Just had to find the pass. Should have been better than that. Those are the chances that you've got to really take. You get away on the breakaway, get a little spin in, got to find that final ball. Look at that from Kamada. You can see Oliver Glasner again at him. That was meant for Gay. He's ended back with the keeper, Benitez. He was actually trying to pass to Gay.
Benitez then has to go long. Into the chest of Mateta, but the ball picked up in the midfield. Matsusako. Sturge. Bangura Williams. Mazusako. Millwall players come very different routes, haven't they? Bangura Williams from non-league football, Sturge from Chelsea's much vaunted academy, Mazusako signed from French football. It's Negley around the corner, and Ivanovic gives it away. Kamara to Esse. Space in front of him here, Romain Esse.
Oh dear. Lacking a little bit of confidence. He's getting a little bit of stick off the crowd, but he's tested for him. Lacking that little bit of confidence, and you get in that pocket, you've got to drive. Drive in the pocket, drive into that little bit of space, and then pick the pass. Just a little bit too quick to make a decision there. Good little build-up play from Millwall before that, John, but Ivanovic gave the ball away. But I'm impressed with her passing in the last quarter of an hour or so. Kept the ball a lot better and looked a lot more incisive.
Well, it cost an initial 12.5 million. Romain Esse, good money for Millwall. All profit, of course, for a young player who they developed. There's more to come. We achieve certain add-ons.
That's a poor ball, isn't it? That's a poor ball, easily cut out the Kamada, but that was an easy ball for Negley there.
There's Negley. It's been a bit too mistake-ridden, the game. Requires header. And Grant wins it again. Hughes tries to get hold of it. He finds Kamada. Drifts past the challenge. Terrific tackle, though, from Mazusako. It's a force in midfield, this young man, doesn't he? Keeps his pass simple. Far has to go across. Mazusako crosses. And it will come through to Sturge. He gets his shot away. Really sharp save by Benitez.
God, that was a good strike, John. I thought it looked like it got away from him there, Sturge, but he's caught it on the half volley, caught it really well. Mazusako done really well on that far side. He's missed out Ivanovic, but he's come round too far on the cover there, Munoz. But that's a good strike, good stop from the keeper. Because sometimes the one closer to the keeper low down, they're harder to save than the ones that are a little bit further away. Good stop and good strike.
Hasn't scored a senior goal, Zach Sturge. There's Negley, run out of it by Esse. There's Negley. A curling ball into the penalty area, looking for Ivanovic. A little bit of afters between Lacroix and the Serbia striker.
There was a little bit of a sorry figure of Esse being bullied off the ball there by Negley, and a decent ball in, and Lacroix kept goal side of his man to get the clearance in there, but Millwall was pressing at the end.
Up for the potentially long throw. I imagine long throw. Everyone takes a long throw now. 4 minutes of added time, by the way, at the end of this first half. Sturge goes long into the penalty area. And Sturge delivers towards the back post, and it was Grant who was up, who won the header. Now Jeremy Pino. It's a thumping tackle. And he's not enjoying it, Pino. He's not enjoying the level of challenge being allowed by John Busby.
To be fair, he hasn't been touched half the time. He's rolling about a bit, isn't he? Nothing wrong with him, but good challenge.
Now Gay. Sosa. This long unbeaten run of Crystal Palace does involve a lot of draws. Including a penalty shootout win in the Community Shield final.
Kamada again. John, he's got two players 10 yards apart. He's put it in between the two of them. Really such a simple pass.
Negley's head down, and Ivanovic went for a headed 1-2, which was optimistic.
What is more the tackles that Millwall want to see, isn't it? But that's fair enough for me. He's rolling about, sees he's not going to get a foul, and he's instantly up. But he's been caught a couple of times because he's dawdled on the ball. You've got to play quicker, you've got to play earlier. And I think they've had a few problems in that department, in that midfield area at the moment. Kamada, Pino, and SA, they've all been caught on the ball by some good challenges by Millwall.
There's Canvo. Out to Pino. And Hughes again to Jeremy Pino, the Spain international. And Kamada. And Canvo is urged to shoot by the home supporters, and he obliges. It wasn't the wisest of moves. Straight into Caleb Taylor.
I think that might have been the away fans, John.
Probing through the tight area. Can they get away? He left it behind him. Now the long ball forward, and there's an arm across there by Maxence Lacroix on Ivanovic, but the referee, I tell you what, he's been ultra consistent in that every physical challenge he's allowed to go through. Now calls for medical assistance.
Well, he hasn't given a foul. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think he's out-muscled him, really. Ivanovic goes down more in hope. Ball down the line, he's favourite, really, because he's on his side. All he's got to do is get his body across the man. He's got to get across Lacroix, keep him, but he's too busy holding on to him instead of getting across him.
So we'll add on, obviously, to the 4 minutes of added time. What Oliver Glasner is like in the dressing room at half-time. There are harsh words coming for his players, or he's certainly animated down at the touchline.
I think he'll be well pleased with the first half, Alex Neil. I think they've been competitive. I think they've been compact. I think they pressed up us a lot further than I thought they would as well. Made a lot of changes tonight, and I thought that would have been very difficult for them to settle into the game straight away. But of the two teams, they've, well, considering they're the lower placed team, should we say, I think they've done well. So that's the man who's got the ump, that's for sure. Sorry,
there's
Ollie.
an expression that says everything, isn't it? At the end of that first half for the Premier League side, Oliver Glasner very disappointed. They dominated possession in the early stages, but they didn't really create many chances. Millwall had good opportunities late in that first half. Camille Negley, perhaps with the best of them, dragged a good opportunity wide. It's been a tough 45 minutes for Romain Esse against his old club. And Jeremy Pino, we've seen the good and the bad of the Spain international attacking midfield player. Entertaining first half, few too many mistakes. We'll have a look at the best of the action from Selhurst Park after this break.
We're going to do one more shot each. The kids come back to the edge of the penalty area. That is it. We're going to do a very quick decider. We're going to start with Frankie from Millwall. So Frankie, if you're ready, one shot. Whoever gets the highest score wins. Millwall fans, make some noise for Frankie. That is 50 points for Frankie, which means, Theo, you've got to get in the eagle eye to win. Alex, that has landed a 10. However, after the FA Cup game from last season, you asked an extra 50 points for what happened to Mateta, which means Crystal Palace are the winners in our eagle eye half-time challenge. It's time to check out the first half highlights.
So welcome back to Selhurst Park. It's a South London derby. Millwall have made what we think is an 8-mile journey. Don't know where they come from. They don't necessarily come from the ground, do you? To
8 miles, but about 3 hours.
That's a London traffic reference, by the way, if you're living elsewhere in the country. Palace have won a couple of cup ties in the FA Cup against Millwall in recent seasons. They haven't played each other in the league for a long time, but Millwall, I'm saying, will be pretty happy with what's happened in the first half. Certainly as as the half went on, they grew into it.
Yeah, I think making so many changes as well, and the inexperience of the team out in that first half, I think they'll be well pleased, because I think they just grew in confidence and had a couple of best chances, I think. And indeed, if Neglia had taken his from the mistake by Palace, it could have been a different story. And then all of a sudden, Palace are chasing the game. But I think you could tell the difference between the teams by the reaction of the two managers on the bench. Alex Neil was well pleased, trying to get more and more out of his team. And all you could see from Oliver Glasner, who's normally the most composed manager you've ever seen, he was furious at the poor distribution of Palace.
It's a cursory handshake with the young fan who was. So he wasn't ignored, was he? He's a polite man, Oliver Glasner. He's not very happy.
No, it's just the hand slap now, John. There's no handshakes. It's just the hand slap. Don't you watch the golf? They just go around doing it. But I think he's most. He's adored at Palace, isn't he, Ollie Glasner? He can't do wrong at the moment. You want more from that man, Pino, that's for sure. Kamada in midfield, I think of the three, Hughes has played the better. He's made the more incisive passes, looked forward, but those two, the other two I mentioned, have been very disappointing in possession.
So there is activity on the bench. Constantas Uche who is getting ready, so we will confirm what Palace's plan is. We discussed, didn't we, whether he would be happy or not, and the answer is no. There he is, Constantas Uche, who made his debut at the weekend. I think he was deadline day signing from Getafe, so another player coming from La Liga. I think for Palace he'll play, as we were saying earlier, as an inside forward. He can play out as an out-and-out striker as well. And it's Esse who's off.
Yeah, I think he lacks a little bit of confidence, Esse. I think it'll be a little while until he gets his first team Spurs at the moment again, because I think he looks a little bit lacking in confidence and just going a little bit within himself. So I think a wise decision just to pull him out the frame at this stage of his career.
So, well, it's 9:05. You'll notice that we're short of something, an opposition for Crystal Palace. I don't think that's Glasner sending them out early. I think Millwall are a little bit late. So Uche coming on. He's had a terrific rise to only a very short period. He didn't play for Getafe for long. He was playing in the Spanish lower divisions, and before that he'd only just come from Nigerian football to play in the Spain lower divisions, to Getafe where he did really well, to the Premier League, all in a blur.
Well, I think Palace will be hoping that he's one of those players that they've really found a little bit of a gem again, and they've been doing it constantly for the last few years now, haven't they?
Yes, some good transfer business. You need to do that, of course. I mean, they've got Premier League money. Millwall will be looking at us talking about Yeremy Pino being cheap at 26 million. They'll be thinking we can build up a squad for that. But there we are. So we're a little bit late kicking off, but we're not apologising. It wasn't our fault. So, and Millwall are in their change shirts for their visit a little bit down south in London to Crystal Palace.
And they'll be attacking the goal where their fans are a little bit closer to.
There's Sosa tries to get it into Mateta. JD Canvo, one of the changes for Palace tonight. They've made fewer changes than Millwall. Canvo making his debut, as is the goalkeeper Walter Benitez. And change as well for Millwall. Josh Coburn is on. And I think Ivanovic has gone. So centre forward, Coburn, that they've been playing the two of them together, but not tonight. Here's Mateta. Margehi, we know can shoot spectacularly now. Yeah, here's Sosa. Gehi, and he floats it towards Munoz at the back post, and he wins the header. He got up above Sturge and was safely dealt with by Bender.
That's where he's dangerous, isn't he, Munoz, because he's so athletic. We mentioned the way he gets up and down that flank, but he's good in the air as well. Gay sees him, he's got... I don't even have time to think. He goes, well, he's good in the air, I'm going to stick it up on that far post. Wins the header, but it doesn't get the right direction.
The referee, if you weren't with us in the first half, has been pretty consistent in letting most things go on. Just overhit for Coburn.
Just a little bit more pace, a little less pace, I'm sorry. And he's in there, Coburn, because he really was on the shoulder of the last defender. He wasn't offside, so clear to see and distinct with the colours that the teams have got on tonight. He was onside, but just a little bit less on that pass.
So they did well, and then Agora Williams was dispossessed. Here's Jeremy Pino. Next bag of a game from him, but that's a powerful run, stopped by an excellent challenge by Wes Harding. Has to battle hard to keep possession, though. And there's Coburn, looking for his first goal of the season, though, the former Middlesbrough striker. And then confirmation, Esse off, Uche on. Nigeria international now, Christantus Uche. Millwall's sold out their allocation. How long will this go into the penalty area from Harding? Goes towards that penalty spot, won by Gehi. Mazusako plays it against his opponent. I mean, I know everything's a handball these days, but that was asking a lot.
Gave it away, but it was quick to chase back, and
doesn't even hit his hand, actually, to be fair, does it?
No, nowhere near it. I mean, the tackle after that was a... You've got to get your challenges in. They are at the moment. Look, they're really rushing Palace in this midfield area.
Hughes got on with it quickly. Now Mateta. And Munoz rampaging down that right flank, as you would expect to see.
Well, you want to see, if you're a Palace fan, a little bit of 10-15 minutes pressure of maybe a succession of corners, free kicks, always up in that last third, trying little passes. Just try and keep the pressure for 10 or 15 and maybe exact a mistake out of Millwall.
So Borna Sosa whips it into that near post. It came off Canvo and up in the air. Coburn, as you would expect to see him, just a willing player. Charging everything down. Palace should have the quality to play through, though, an energetic press.
So composed in possession there, Mark Gay. That's why plenty of clubs are after him.
This is nicely done by Uche, and then he whipped it too quickly into the penalty area, but it was Kramer at the near post who cleared.
Yeah, should have got his head up, really, Uche. That was a really good turn, but then he's got to realise he didn't really get his head up. He's trying to go for an area, and He's way ahead of all his players anyway, so he's just got to get his head up, take it on for another touch, and then create something.
Sosa again swings it into the near post. Gay flung himself at the ball.
Well, he got the run on his marker there, Mark Gay. I think he maybe should have done a little bit better having got the run. You can see plenty of blocking off going on, but Gay's got the run on his marker. Just gets a little bit ahead of the ball, but I think that's a good opportunity.
Goes long to Coburn. Ballo, who's a first half sub, has a shot that's deflected, and Benitez has to come and field it. Argentine goalkeeper.
Yeah, the areas, John, they really got to pick the pass there. A little bit of composure again. And Ballo can slip one of the other players in there. Just a nice little 4 or 5 yard ball into his path, but electing to shoot, and it wasn't really on.
Ballo came on early for Dan Kelly, who was injured. Bender came into the starting 11. It was supposed to be Max Crocombe, who was injured in the warm-up. As they're done by Coburn, he just shields the ball off to Ballo, and then a mistake by Harding, who's had a solid game.
Well played by Taylor as well, out the back 3 or 4 for Millwall there, just stepped out and made a lovely incisive ball into the striker.
Mazusako battling away, battling hard. He's on his debut as well. Alex Nielsen doesn't speak any English. They didn't want to put him in for the Charlton game, but he is playing against the Premier League team. Here's Uche, neatly done, and he finds Mateta. Mateta has Pino. Pino has the ball at his feet, and he tries to slip it back to Mateta.
Well played Millwall again, in particular Taylor. He didn't get out-muscled by Mateta there for one moment. Thought he's just going to get on the outside of him. Got shoulder to shoulder. It was up to the contact.
Sosa can cross. Oh, and it was Uche coming across, but might blame that on Will Hughes getting in his way. Canvo puts it towards the back post, and it was Pino who was jumping. And last touch off the little man, according to the referee.
Getting each other's way there on the end of that volley. And when the ball came back in, there's Hughes just trying to get in with his right foot, and Uche trying to get in with his left. No communication.
Here's Mateta. Dropped off into space there. Now Daniel Munoz. Taylor blocked.
A little bit of pressure coming on Millwall this first 10 minutes or so of the second half. Just got to weather the storm, and when they get a little bit of possession, keep it, because it's just starting to come, because they're up in the tempo, Palace. And a couple of free kicks, couple of corners. And they've got to be careful they don't lose their markers on these set pieces.
Again, Sosa swings it in. This time Bender comes and is decisive. Grant to Harding. Into the feet of Coburn. Ballo did well against Hughes, nicked it back. Mazusako. Kramer, the captain tonight for Millwall. Big ball switched out towards Sturge.
generally composed on the ball. Negley had the best opportunity when he probably could have been a little bit more composed on that occasion, but when in possession, he's looked very good.
Sosa has to clear it. It was just a ball over the top, but with two willing runners, puts the defender under pressure.
And we've seen these throws, they can get at least to the near post. They've only got to win that first ball, cause a little bit of danger right in front of the away fans there. Great travelling support they've got, so noisy.
Caleb Taylor is forward to lend his considerable height, 6'5". Josh Coburn's another big man in there. Goes towards Taylor at the near post. It bounces down. Sosa clears. Pino's on the ground again. Waving his arm at the referee again. Harding swings it towards the back post. Well dealt with by Walter Benitez. Uche takes it well and turns. Is run out of it by Coburn working back.
Yeah, that's the centre forward chasing back. The midfielders have got just a little bit slow in getting back there, but the centre forward's back helping and then chasing this one down up front.
Sturge willing to get up and down that left flank as well. Across comes JD Canbo. Race Bangora Williams to Sturge. Again the referee, John Busby, lets it go on.
He's hard to get much change out of Munoz in that right wing back spot. He can defend as a, shall we say, classical right back, but he can also perform as a right winger, the way he makes those 50 and 60-yard dashes. But his physical prowess is the most redeeming feature for me, and the fans absolutely love him. All-out effort, such a powerful athlete.
Just allows the attacking players then to try and dominate the middle of the park, doesn't it?
Pino and Kamada just not quite on the same wavelength again.
Again, no free kick. It was Lacroix on Coburn with the challenge that time. Nice touch around the corner by Pino. And Munoz is charging, but Sturge was back. Closed down by Uche, and slightly panicky clearance.
Still can't get that combination right. That was a good ball from Pino. I think he's clapping that, but Dan Kamada was not on with the second ball. I think the only time it clicked together was the very early stages of the game when Pino got that shot in.
Canbo goes long. Well, one by Gehi, and now Pino. He's got some room here. Yeremy Pino. Does he have some magic? Good block by Grant. Here's Canbo. And Sosa. It's overhit by the Croatian.
That was a good block by Grant on the edge of the area there, because he was sizing that up, Pino. Good opportunity, maybe a couple of yards outside, and he fancies going to make the keeper work there, but Grant closed him down really well, got his blocking.
What a card for Gianno Ballo.
Yeah, I think that was for the foul on Gay, as Gay went beyond him early on in that movement. There we go, he's nicked the ball there, look, and he's tried to drag him back, not once but twice.
First of the game. For Palace, making a change. Mark Gilling's going off. So, bang on the hour, Tony suggests a little bit of pre-planning, perhaps. It's Chris Richards coming on.
To be replaced by number 26, Chris Richards.
Just keeping him fit for the weekend.
Yeah, a trip to West Ham at the weekend for Oliver Glasner's men. Millwall don't play until Monday, and they entertain Watford. Here's Kamal Grant. Wide to Wes Harding. It's back Harding's way. Mazusako dinks it in. There's a big centre-back in the position where it needed a little bit of subtlety.
Yeah, it just needs a slightly lighter touch than that one, but plenty of enthusiasm and getting down on that right outside. That's a decent ball there, but that's just got to take the kind of pace off that rather than pace on.
So Richards has gone to the left side where he normally operates. Mateta battling to retain possession, battling successfully. Canvo. It's drifted towards Yeremy Pino. It comes to Sosa. Out of play, it's a Palace throw. He took the time. Richards makes his way to the penalty area. Now Will Hughes. Pino turns and finds Kamada. You can't get away from Kramer. Richards to Uche.
Sorry, John, good ball again from Will Hughes.
A mistake by Lacroix, but Richards will come and cover.
Struggling though, Palace, they can't get it going. You want to see his team passing the ball a lot better than they have done tonight. They really haven't got it going quickly and really troubled Millwall consistently enough for me.
Bangura Williams in the heart of the midfield for Millwall. A Sturge looking for Coburn in there. Richards gets his head to it first.
In fairness to Richards, that's good defending because he can't let Coburn get in front of him and always gets his body in the right place.
And this is Christantas Uche down on the ground after that challenge with Taylor.
There's been plenty of those challenges tonight. They've been quite forceful in the challenge, I think, Millwall, but there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You've got to play a physical game against a team that's a division above them. I think they've done really well. When the ball's broke loose, they've really forced the first touch and the second touch of Palace to be a good one. And when it has got away, they've generally got their tackles in.
So Palace are edging the possession again, and they've had more shots, but really in terms of proper clear-cut opportunities.
Slow, isn't it? Slow and predictable from Palace. Palace fans trying to wind them up, but they're certainly not glad all over at the moment. It's not really got going.
Coburn's flick, and then Richards. Convo keeps it in play. Barlow wins the battle with Hughes, and he gets away from Lacroix. Barlow into the penalty area, and Coburn with a close-range opportunity. It was a great chance there for the substitute centre-forward.
Barlow, such a good break. He's come inside, then gone outside, and I think Coburn kind of gets ahead of the ball, and he can't sort his feet out. This is, along with the Negley opportunity, maybe the opportunity of the game. Look, he's hit it with the outside of the foot, and it's popped up onto his chest. Come on there. He's got himself in a little bit of a state. He's only got to get a little slight touch on that, and that's in the back of the net. What a chance. They've had the two best chances.
It's one of those ones where you think he's just got to get something on it, but it turns out you can play the ball against yourself and behind.
Oh, you practice that so much in training, John, just helping it on its way. You've either got to open your body out, or, as in that case there, he tried it with the outside of the foot, but he's just hit it back onto himself. That's more difficult to do.
Here's Uche for Crystal Palace. Sosa to Pino. Pino dinks it towards that back post, and in steams Munoz, and he made contact with Sturge this time.
Loves the challenge, doesn't he? And I mean, Sturge has done well there to hold him off. Keep his eye on the ball, not get discouraged by the fact that such a powerful figure like Munoz is trying to get in front of him. It's a great challenge. Does them all the time. You know you're going to get clumps. You've got to be under the flight of the ball, get strong. Sturge does, good defending, but look at Munoz. Goes for everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can never accuse him of not getting up to speed with physicality of English football. Wrestling match going on there. Here's the American, Chris Richards. I thought for a second he'd misjudged it. Oh, here's Jeremy Pino. Oh, he rushed it.
Uche to his right was the ball. He's trying to go to the more decisive one. He's either got to take it on or just pass it first time to Uche, and he's tried to pick out Mateta, and he's nowhere near the target. That's the chance they've been waiting for, nicking possession in that area of the pitch. Just one pass and you're in.
So it's to Negley. And then whipped in again towards Coburn. That's good goalkeeping actually by Benitez.
Yeah, he was aware of the space, wasn't he? Just read it well. Helps his defenders out well there by just anticipating and getting there quickly.
Hughes caught by a strong challenge. It's a yellow card for Race Bangora Williams.
Yeah, a fraction of a second late. I don't think there was any animosity in it. And Will Hughes got straight up as well. Wasn't complaining to the referee or trying to dive about on the floor.
So changes coming. So Justin Devaney is coming on. Borna Sosa is off. Jeremy Pino also going. And Justin Devaney and Jefferson Lerma, the players coming on.
Jeremy Pino, number 24, Borna Sosa, to be replaced by number 8, Jefferson Lerma, and number 55.
The players who've got to settle down into the Premier League. I think Sosa gave the ball away plenty of times, as did Pino. A couple of more reliable characters coming on.
Going to need a resorting of the Palace formation, isn't it? We'll figure that out shortly. Here's Josh Coburn on the attack. He's got Wes Harding charging alongside him. Devaney's first involvement was to block that, and then Richards with a challenge, and there's no foul there, despite Derek Mazusaka going over.
Well, Richards, I think, just holds his ground here. Look, not a foul for me. I think he goes over a little easier. More after he's gone through.
Now Mateta, and the goalkeeper comes, and Mateta is around him, but there is cover on the line. And Mateta was so close, but it was terrific cover to bail out the goalkeeper.
Comes into no man's land, doesn't he, John, the goalkeeper here. Cramer gets too tight, great strength from Mateta, tips it round the goalie and doesn't get enough power on the shot, and allows Taylor to get back on the line and get it away. Keeper's come into real no man's land there, got himself stuck and must have been thinking, oh no. But defender gets back on time. Taylor did extremely well.
Devene with the corner towards the back post. Uche wins the first one. Mateta tries to get a back heel away, and it's forced in. Chris Richards. And Premier League Crystal Palace finally bundle the ball into the back of the net and take the lead. Boy, that has been a long time coming and very hard earned.
Well, it's just about keeping the ball alive in the penalty area as it came in from the corner kick. They keep it alive, and it's whoever gets that first toe. First toe for Millwall's a clearance, first toe for Crystal Palace is in the back of the goal because you're so close to the goal. And it's Richards who gets a toe to it. And well, you won't get many easier goals than that, but shame for Millwall. I think that they defended well on these set pieces, but that they keep the ball alive, quite clear in their lines. Uche gets the first header in, and there it is, just in between Mateta and Richards, and he gets the final toe to the ball. Messy kind of goal, but just got to get your touch in there. He's kind of miss it, the back heel there, Mateta, but he's gone straight to Richards, and in that crowded penalty area, who gets the toe first? And it's Richards.
First goal of the season for the USA international defender. Well, the substitutions had just been made.
Not long after that chance up the other end, was it, John, when Coburn was in front of goal and just needed a toe?
Here's Hughes. He moves it on to Munoz. There are plenty in the penalty area, including Uche. Taylor with the block, corner for Palace.
It was good defending, actually. He's tried a little half turn there, Uche, and there was a good little block on. Important Millwall just stay in the game here, just this next 5 minutes or so, just to give them a final 10. Maybe it'll have a go at Palace.
Devene takes over corner duties and whips it into the near post, and it was Lacroix who tried to flick it on. It was well defended.
It was Gay earlier who got in front of his man. That near post area they seem to be getting in on him. Lacroix can't quite get it back in on the target.
It was Bangor Williams who got the last touch. It's a corner again. Some big guys there for Crystal Palace. Referee's brave, isn't he, getting in the middle of that?
I don't know why players really want to mark that tight. You just got to stay away from your man. Think about giving yourself a run and a jump at it yourself. You don't really want to get anyone in front of you. If they come over the top of you and score, fair play.
Devene again puts it into that near post. It was Negley who was the shield. Hughes as well, finds Lacroix, turns sharply, gets his cross in. It's Coburn defending, Hughes keeps it alive. Now can Millwall create something on the break? It's a challenge by Will Hughes, and the referee, not only is it a free kick, it's a booking.
Yeah, I think Hughes was always going to do that. Once he'd lost possession, he didn't want to see the counter on. He's not really got any grumbles with the referee either. Although he's retrieved the ball, I think he knows he's fouled the man first, and he knew exactly what he was doing. Goes. Negley comes away from it, he gets him first, then the ball, and straight away he knew he was going to get the yellow.
So more changes are coming from Millwall. They're getting themselves ready There'll be all of their remaining subs, I think, here. And a foul on Coburn by Lacroix. So, they're being made now. And Leonard getting some plans explained to him. So much to say to a player coming on. This be so simple.
Just got to give it a go now, haven't they, in the final 14 minutes or so.
It goes short to Mazusako. No, Uche. It's a roar of appreciation from the home supporters, but he doesn't get a free kick from the referee. Right, and we are now seeing these changes. Jack Howland's one of the players coming on. Adomo Emako, the left winger. Oh, we'll see where he goes, but he has been playing as a left winger, Emako. Negley is going off along with Pandora Williams. Ryan Leonard is on, and Emako, and young Jack Howland, the 19-year-old right winger. And his previous appearance was in this competition against Coventry.
One of those players who went off was Negley, and what a chance he had in the first half. Great opportunity. Would have been a long time to hold on, of course, John, but it may determine a different path that the game went on. But I think he had a good game, Negley. He looks like a good player to me, but what an opportunity. And, he'll be reliving that in his mind when he gets home tonight, I think, knowing that he should have scored.
So that's it for the changes for Millwall. One enforced in the first half for the injury to Dan Kelly, and the half-time one, Coburn coming on for Ivanovic. Kamara. Been made to work every step of the way, Crystal Palace. Saveni, who's come on at left back. Mateta's touch is heavy.
Great ball in from Devaney. He's come out to that left wing back role, replaced Sosa. Really pinged it into the feet of Mateta. The layoff wasn't as good, but look at this for a ball. Picks him out, zips it across the surface. And poor touch from Mateta.
Foul by Howland. It's done by Canvo. It's Lerma. Sent to play. Palace on top and in the lead, 16 shots to 6. Millwall have had 2 on target. They were decent efforts though. And in that 6 total opportunities for them was the Negley miss.
And the Coburn miss, not even on target. That was the disappointing thing.
Uche. One of the Palace subs. Clearance hit against Mateta. Farmer thought he was caught. Referee could have blown his whistle many times in that little coming together. Is Lerma.
Gresham are being a little bit patient now, keeping the ball, trying to keep it away from Millwall, just try and suck them on, get out of their positions, try and get them to jump out their lines and then pick them off with maybe that final pass and a final goal to seal the tie.
Again, the target man is Mateta. As it well, Uche was wide, was just out of play. Kamada's more advanced now, isn't he, with Lerma on?
Yeah, it gives him a little bit more of an insurance policy, playing as, shall we say, the one of the 10s. Or was it John? Just giving him a little bit of a free roll in there.
Yeah, the inside forwards. Glasner's unhappy with the challenge on Munoz. The yellow card is out. A little bit of a few words between the two benches. So Glasner, I think, motioned that there was a stamping motion here from the youngster. The Millwall bench are objecting to that. The yellow card for Derek Mazusako.
I think it was more of a grazing blow across him, wasn't it, rather than a full-out stamping action. No, it's always 10 times worse when it's on the side of where the bench is and the benches react.
Alex Neil, I think, making the point that Oliver Glasner might have been over-exaggerating.
Without swearing. Good lip reading, Judd. I think he was saying about something about him staying in his little technical area.
Surveying the scene of all the changes, just checking everybody's where they're supposed to be.
Well, yeah, just making sure everybody knows what their job is. He won't want to be going to penalties after this, will he? Won't want to see a little bit of a final hurrah from Millwall. Let's hope there is, though, for the game's sake. Let's hope they can try and get a little bit of pressure up the other end, get maybe a free kick or a corner kick. But you just fear that they've had their two best chances that they should have taken. Negley in the first half, Coburn in the second, and could have been such a different story.
Palace a few minutes away from a 16th game unbeaten in all competitions. Lerma, that big switch out, and he knows that Munoz is charging forward, and he gets it into the penalty area. Bravely done by Kramer.
Running down lost causes again, does ever so well to keep that in, Munoz. Good ball from Lerma on the diagonal, but he made it look a better ball.
One Colombian to another. Good work by Mazusako. Now Howland. It's to get the ball through to Ballo. The referee says the ball was played cleanly.
Guess who's come back another 10 yards? The back three sitting back. Look who's run back and defended. Look, that's not even his man, and he's got back there and defended. What energy he's got.
Did he get the ball? I'm not sure he did that time. I would love a calm conclusion to this game. little bit of wrestling by Mazusako. He hasn't been shy tonight, has he, the young debutant?
No, I think he's done really well, hasn't he? Got involved in the game, been in the heart of the game. He's passed the ball decently well, but got after the ball really well against what's a really experienced and international Palace midfield there. I think he's done ever so well.
Richards pops it over the top, but too long.
I think Alex Neil in general will be well pleased with their work rate, the way they've got after Millwall. Sorry, after Palace. Is the challenge. Does he get the ball or not? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe just catches his foot, but look, when you work rates like that, you always think, yeah. What a player, what a signing he's been. What's a signing?
Yeah, £7 million they paid for him. Got him in from Genk.
Put a value on him now, John. Oh. I think he's a wing back. It's not a sexy position, but I would say 40.
Well, here's a long ball forward and a chance for Emakhu. First involvement for the substitute, and he just couldn't get his shot away in time.
He's too slow getting it away. He steadies himself, and it allows Richards back to get the block in, who does it really well. Ball straight through, and Emakhu, as you said, I think he differs here. Look, he's got to go. Look, he steadies himself. Just one touch too many, and just hesitates.
Corner is hoisted towards that back post. First head was a Palace head. Sturge comes in. He's been chased down by a pack of eagles.
Pack of eagles. Nice one, John.
I'm not saying that's ornithologically accurate. Here's Howland.
Pride of lions and a pack of eagles.
Is it a flock? It must be a flock. Most birds are a flock.
Yeah, they are.
Here's Emakhu.
And last chance, come and get this ball into the penalty area, get it contested, but more important, just win that first touch. Keep it alive. Uche's got to be careful. He's not eyes for the ball at the moment, is he? I think I would play on that.
Launched towards the penalty spot, though. Well won by Lerma. They do work hard to win the ball back, Crystal Palace, don't they? That ball could have gone forward. Palace certainly had players in space. Millwall win it back in the 90th minute, by the way. Emakhu does get away from Devaney, gets it into the penalty area. Shinned behind by Lacroix.
I think he gets lucky there, Lacroix, because that's come at a difficult height and he's come on his wrong foot as well. So when he does clear it, I think you may be right, John. I think it's a shin rather than a clear. He gets a little bit lucky with that one, doesn't he? That could have gone anywhere.
4 minutes being added on. And it will start with a Millwall corner that's flicked on and flicked in. A dramatic conclusion right at the start of added time at the end of the game. Ryan Leonard in there.
Yeah, I think he's got across his marker and he's done brilliant, hasn't he? Great flat corner, the way it's come in. And what a header. Gets a lovely little flick on it right in front of those fans up that end, and they've gone hysterical. Now he's looking at trying to sort his penalties out, Oliver Glasner. That's right at the end of the game. Gets across his marker. Oh, a lovely little touch. It's a glancing header. When it's nice and flat like that and so direct, all you've got to do is get a touch on it. That's a perfect header onto that far post and in the back of the net. And I think for the chances they created, I think they've deserved this. I know Palace have had more, shall we say, statistics that are going in their favour, but clear-cut chances, I think Millwall deserved it.
Well, there's hardly any time to do anything about it now. Penalties are beckoning. But here's Mateta. Can they grab a winning goal? Kramer away. Lovely touch by the man who supplied the goal, by the way, Jack Howland.
That's well played. That's a good run to hold on to that ball there. It's gone right down the line, then come infield and just kept hold of it and controlled it really well. What a way to score in front of your own fans as well. Just ran straight over to them and they were hysterical. Maybe a few of them, just maybe, might have left the ground, if they were allowed out, that is. But if they stayed to the end, well done to all of them.
Hughes, here's Kamara. It's not done yet. On a chance, Munoz into the penalty area. Mateta to win it, and it's wide. What an opportunity. The victory was beckoning there for Crystal Palace.
We've seen some easy chances missed tonight, haven't we? 2 from Millwall and 1 from Crystal Palace, and Mateta there. Munoz, great one, good pass from Kamada. And I think, look, oh, what has he done there? He's just opened his body out and he's just spooned it wide. Oh, my goodness, what a miss that is. One of the misses of the season, I think, from Mateta. Tries to let it run across his body, and just a fraction too much, and he's put it wide. We've seen some great chances there tonight, haven't we? And all missed.
Well, if you asked Oliver Glasgow, if you asked Crystal Palace who you would give your opportunity to, you'd go your main centre forward. I wonder if he just slipped as he went to hit it. Here's Coburn trying to run in behind.
Last chance, look, right in front of their fans again. They'll be blowing this ball that little bit further into the goal here, won't they?
Well, Ryan Leonard is across to take it, the scorer of the equalising goal.
Got to send everyone up here, John, because it's right at the end. It's going to be the last kick of the game if they can do something here, so it's worth getting in there. Or getting a cross in.
They've gone short to Kramer. Now can Kramer deliver from here? He can towards the back post. There's a touch by Munoz. Barrow comes sliding in, but that will just be out for the goal kick, and that could be it. That could be penalties.
Well, it's no more than Millwall deserved, I think. Clear-cut chances, we said it before, they missed those clear-cut chances. Mateta's missed one at the end, but for me, he hasn't been a happy man all the game, and I think he's just sensing going into these penalties that maybe his luck might be out, but not looking a happy chappy.
Lerma goes down to free kick. Palace have one more opportunity here. There'll be time to take it.
There'll be time to take it and put everyone into the area as well.
Yellow card for Leonard.
Yeah, just trying to hold it up, making sure that this really is the last attempt for Palace. But should they clear their lines here, John, I think it's going to be blown up for full time and we're going to pens. Very important they don't do anything stupid here, Millwall. No fouls. Trying to hold the high line, give the keeper a little bit of room to come through it, Bender. And for Palace, I think it's all about the important delivery for Devaney.
We're in the 96th minute. We're well over the advertised minimum added time. Devaney with the free kick for Premier League Crystal Palace. First head, though, is a Millwall head, and that was the end of the 90 minutes. That's the end of the normal game. It is penalties. A dramatic conclusion. Crystal Palace thought they had done enough with a 73rd minute goal by Chris Richards. But Ryan Leonard glanced in an equaliser in added time, and then Jean-Philippe Mateta. What a miss in the 93rd minute of the game. He could have saved everybody from the penalty shootout.
And no doubt would be taking one of those pens as well, because he's such a good penalty taker, but well, his confidence been affected by that glaring miss. Good little pass from Kamada, one of the few passes he's made in the game. Great run from Munoz again, sets it up perfectly for Mateta. In letting it roll across his body, just let go across a little fraction too much, and that's why he scooped it and sliced it wide. So
1-1 is the score at the end of 90 minutes full time, and we don't have extra time in the Carabao Cup. We go straight to penalties, which I think is a good idea, Tony, isn't it?
Yeah, well, really, it's great excitement, isn't it? But I think who wins the toss is important here as well, John, because if you go up the end where the Palace fans are, you're going to get a little bit of a advantage as a Palace player. But don't forget, if you go up the other end where the Millwall fans are packed into that corner, right level with that penalty area and further down, then it's going to be an advantage, I think, for Millwall. So, big toss to win this one.
You see the negotiations going on, can't you? Because you can't know for sure, can you, who's on? Especially these days of 5 subs. Obviously, the team that you started out with is very different. You're not entirely sure how it's going to go, who you're going to change.
Well, exactly. I mean, you've made all your changes to change the course of the game, which they done, Millwall, with that late equaliser. But of course, in bringing players on, you necessarily brought on players to take penalties. You've just got to equalise. They've equalised, but now are those players that come on penalty takers, confident strikers of the ball? And the same for Crystal Palace. They brought on a few players to close it out. And do they take a good penalty?
Let's have a look at the 2 goals. The 73rd minute of the game, Chris Richards stabs this one in.
Yeah, look, he was just bouncing around in there. Missed sort of backheel there by Mateta. It only goes a yard or so, and Chris Richards is first with a little toe poke to put it in the back of the net. But that's a good header, isn't it, from Leonard? He just helped it on his way. Just helped it on his way with all the pace on the cross. It's a lovely corner kick, and if you get across your marker, well, you've got an even money chance of scoring, and he does.
So, going at the Millwall end.
Advantage Millwall as far as I'm concerned. I know there's a few Palace fans behind that goal, but the Millwall fans on the side up that end. Big advantage, I think, Millwall.
So an opportunity for Walter Benitez to be a hero. Of course, he and Stephen Bender getting a little bit of a briefing from the referee. Respect between the 2 keepers. So, well, a smile on the face of Alex Neil for the players who've gone off.
I think he said, I bet you please you went off.
So, it's Mateta. Ball in hand. He missed the chance of the game. Right at the end, deep into added time, he missed an absolute glorious opportunity. So it's Crystal Palace's centre forward to step up first. And Mateta scores. Top corner, super penalty.
It's a great goal, actually, because Bender's gone the right way, but they're impossible to stop. If they get above waist height and you're going higher into the goal, you can't go across and high. Nearly gets a touch to, is it? But there's a lot of power in it from that short run up. Confident Ben.
Tristan Kramer, the captain, is first up. Assuming the responsibility here, the French defender.
Benitez taking his time, just stalling it for a little bit.
Kramer against Benitez, and a save! It was a weak penalty by the Millwall captain, and Benitez got down smartly.
What was he doing? He just walked into the penalty. He's got no acceleration. There's a deceleration going into the strike, unlike Mateta. That's a poor pen, absolutely poor pen. Good stop from Benitez, of course. But I don't know what he's doing there. As a defender, he's got to put his foot through it. He's got to really strike the ball hard, but he's kind of walked into it. Very difficult to get any power in it.
Chris Richards, who did score in the game. Takes his time, composes himself. He scored in the game. He scores in the shootout, 2-0 to Crystal Palace.
Well, there's a defender, central defender, who's got a little bit of acceleration into the run in that last few steps, and that gets a little bit of a snap into the shot. Not walking into it, running into it. A good penalty.
All of the Premier League teams knocked out by sides from lower divisions lost on penalties in the previous round, but Crystal Palace have their noses significantly in front. Wes Harding is next. Millwall need this. They need this desperately. It's Harding. Oh, and it's in. Goalkeeper got a good firm hand to it. He went the right way. Huge relief for Harding and for Millwall.
Yeah, relief, but it's a good pen. If the keeper saves it, he's done well to save it, because he's run into it. Look, run into it. That's the important thing. No deceleration. Got a little bit of a snap into the shot. And the keeper, Benitez, couldn't quite keep it out. Done well to get a hand on it.
Justin Devaney hears his name being sung. They beat Liverpool on penalties in the Community Shield. He was a hero then.
What a strike that was, John, wasn't it?
And he looks composed. It's Devaney and it's Bender. And it's a fearsome strike again, right into the corner.
Same corner for Devaney. There's that brilliant strike I was talking about, real snap in the shot. And all of a sudden, Oliver Glasner's got a little bit of a smile on his face.
So again, the man who scored in the game, Ryan Leonard, on as a sub. Not a likely goal scorer. It's Leonard for Millwall, and it's fierce, right down the middle. Real power, and it's 3-2.
What I'm saying before, just the acceleration into the run. Look, it's all positive. Not right in the corner, but he's put his foot through it, and it's a positive strike.
And Kamara is next. Didn't have the best of games, if we're being entirely honest about it. Palace have the advantage. They can guarantee that they maintain that advantage now. How can Millwall get back into the shootout? It's Kamara. And a goal, calmly done again. The penalties from the Premier League side have been excellent.
Yeah, they've been good, haven't they, John? They have been really good. Now they've got to score this one to stay in it. Nothing wrong with any of the penalties from Palace. Kamara sends the keeper the wrong way. And they're edging their way through now.
So it's a Maku, and he must score. Adomo Imaku has to hit the back of the net. He doesn't. Benitez saves. Benitez is the hero for Crystal Palace in the shootout. And the Premier League side are through. They're through by the skin of their teeth. The penalties were good. Benitez made the saves. It's heartbreak for Millwall, who gave so much, but it is Premier League Crystal Palace who are through.
Well, if you're walking into penalties, the two guys that missed the penalty have just walked into them. And for me, it's hard to generate any pace. That one straight to the keeper per Benitez, and he just fell on it. But really, when you're walking into a penalty, there's no incisiveness in it. There's no real snap in the shot. And as you can see, it's another walk, same as the other one. One step, and you've not really got a lot of chance of generating any power.